You're in a quiet room, focused and calm, until your phone suddenly vibrates. Instantly, your chest tightens and your heart rate spikes. This is a moment of temporary psychological paralysis. You stare at the screen, unmoving, waiting for the intrusion to stop. The exact second the call drops to voicemail, the tension breaks. A wave of biological decompression follows as your breathing finally slows down. You immediately reach for the phone to text a caller back. This is a reflexive move to regain control over the pace of the interaction. Most people feel a sense of guilt during this process. We worry that avoiding the ringer makes us antisocial or rude to those trying to reach us. This visceral spike of dread is an evolved biological defense mechanism, a reflexive surge triggered to protect your system from a sudden, unannounced intrusion.
Deep work requires a state of flow, a fragile mental environment where your cognitive resources are channeled into a single, efficient track. An unexpected call shatters that environment, like a pop-in, the digital version of someone walking straight into your private home without knocking. The brain relies on mental preparation to switch tasks. We need a buffer of time to transition from isolated focus to the high energy demands of social interaction. A ringing phone bypasses this buffer entirely. It is a demand for instant social performance with zero warning. The brain treats an incoming call as a sudden environmental stressor, a direct demand for cognitive resources that overrides your current priorities. To understand this, we look to polyvagal theory. The vagus nerve connects your brain and internal organs. The brain categorizes uninvited ringtones as autonomic threats, triggering a physical alarm. Because social interaction requires energy, unannounced calls threaten your finite energy reserves for the day. To stop this energy drain, the nervous system triggers a withdrawal response. This is a biological safety mechanism that pulls you away from the source of the stress. When you ignore the call, your brain is hitting the emergency brakes. It is a physiological maneuver to prevent cognitive overload. This urge is a tactic of biological self-preservation. Your nervous system is prioritizing your internal stability over an external demand. Modern communication is more effective when it's treated as a system of mutual agreement rather than a constant standing obligation. A phone call is synchronous communication. It forces two people to be mentally available at the exact same moment, usually at the caller's discretion rather than the recipient's. Texting provides an asynchronous alternative. It allows you to process the information and reply only when you have the bandwidth to do so, restoring your personal agency. Silencing a ringing phone is the act of enforcing a necessary personal boundary for your own deep focus. Managing these stress spikes preserves your mental energy. By choosing when to deploy your attention, you ensure that when you finally do engage, you actually have the capacity to listen. Letting the phone ring is an act of protecting your mental resources. It gives you the necessary space to engage on your own terms, with your full attention intact.